VB?
Yeah.
Ah, sure. And of course you can drag and drop stuff here. Jan, you said Word. Does Word use drag and drop?
Yeah, toolbars can be moved.
Sure. So basically, whenever you have drag and drop going on, you always have two things. Oh, here it is. And of course, I think even if we have a bunch of text, can't we highlight it and then pick it up and put it down there, right? So of course, drag and drop is really common in Windows applications. Duh, you all know how to do it, primarily because nice people who wrote your operating system incorporated it as a core feature. I can drag this file into there and drop it, and I know it didn't just disappear. It actually, what actually occurred there? What kind of function?
Did it copy it?
Yeah, it actually moved it. I'm going to take it, I'm going to put it over here. It moves it to the desktop. What's the difference between a copy and a move?
Value, or your reference, set of
Removes
value.
it from the original location, one creates another.
One creates another, of course, right? A copy, you end up with two. A move, you still end up with one in a different place. So the basic concepts of drag and drop are you always have to have what we call the source and the target. And does that make sense? You have to take it from someplace and put it someplace else. So we have some special events we're going to use, and let's pretend that this was our source. What's the first thing I do? Okay, this is my mouse. Ready? Da, 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 okay, and I want to drag something from here to here. What's the first action I'm probably going to pick up on?
Click.
Click, right. So we have on the click event, and actually we won't call it the click event, we'll call it the mouse down. A click tends to be both the down and up, it's a full click, but we actually just want to catch half a click, right? We want to catch the mouse going down. And when we find a mouse down event and we move, we know we're going to be entering a drag state. Does that make sense? So mouse down, we're going to start our move. Of course, this particular object is the one that catches the mouse down event, right? This object doesn't know over here. Just like a button, you know, if this were a button and I click it, this button has a click event. This one does too, but I'm not clicking over here. So it's the source object's mouse down event that we're going to write our initial drag and drop code in. Does that make sense? So what we're going to do is basically, on mouse down here, we're going to run a function on this object, and it's a special function called do drag drop. And you'll see it here in a second. It takes two parameters. Basically, it takes the object data that you want to pull out of here to move, and the effect, whether you are moving it or copying it, that sort of thing. So if this were a file and on the desktop, what do you suppose the object data what kind of data do I want to move? When I come over here, right here, and I hover and I down click and I start to do that, of course what we see, you guys can't see it very well. So I come over this and I click down. I haven't yet released. Now the system ran do drag drop, and basically what it did was it put a little shadow image of whatever was there under the cursor, right? And as long as I have my finger on it, I'll kind of move this little shadow image around. Internally, what does this icon represent? A file on disk, right? So what it's done is it's copied probably the location of the file into memory to say that's what we're going to change. We're going to change the location of the file. And when I come over here,
So it's like a shortcut? You're just creating like a shortcut?
no, I'm gonna actually
Move the file.
Here we go. It's pretty magical. I'm gonna come up here. Notice when I roll over this one, what happens?
Highlights.
It highlights, right? Now if I roll over this one, it highlights. Let's see, do all of them highlight? Oh, that one doesn't highlight. That one does.
Can't
And
put
that
it
one
inside of
doesn't.
a text. It's not a file, it's a
So
document.
each of these icons, each of these objects on the screen, know whether they're allowed to have stuff dropped on top of them or not. And the same thing in VB. We have to actually mark objects on the screen that can receive a drop as allow drop equals true, and that's just a property. So for example, this one's allow drop looks like it's set to true, and we have some sort of effect that would say highlighted if you're hovering over it in a do drop state, do drag drop. But this one's allow drop must be false, right? Because obviously, could I let go right now? You could. What do you think would happen?
It won't put it on there, it'll just go back to where it was.
What do you think the system will do? You think it'll...
Default,
Just flat.
All it did was it said, oh, well, you couldn't put it in there, so I'll do the
Next
next best thing,
available
I'll
first.
let you rearrange it on the screen, and it put it down below there, right? As opposed to if I, of course, take this and let go, now it's gone, open it up, it's like a magic trick, ta-da! Well, before, let me ask you this, any of you old DOS people in here, how did you used to, move a file before that?
Commands,
Does anybody remember that command?
move.
copy,
Move command. That's right. Now, of course, if you right click and drag, you get a menu, right? And basically you've performed a drag and drop but with a different key, and so the system, Windows, is saying, maybe you want to do something more sophisticated, so we'll let you copy it, move it, or create a shortcut, or cancel. We'll just cancel. So here's a really simple overview of what this would look like. Oh no. Come on. This worked last night. Come on. Alright. So basically what I have is I have a list box. We've all used list boxes. 2 list boxes, right? And one of them has a bunch of stuff hard-coded in it, and the other one does not. And I think both of them have allow drop as true. I've only coded to be able to move from this way to this way. So when I come over here and click down, looks just like it did before with the selected index, right? It highlighted that row. That's very normal behavior, right? But now if I move my cursor over to here, what is that little square? Notice that little square indicates we've got something we're kind of dragging along. It's not very sophisticated, but if I then let up on the cursor, you'll see it, what did it do here?
removed it.
It moved it. Now how does it perform a move operation internally? So I know which one I clicked on because of the selected index. What do you think is happening over here when I let go?
Catching them.
You're reading it from there.
Catching, yeah, it's actually there's a drag drop. So there's an event that it catches, and what it says is it knows what item in the list is being moved because I've copied the string into a little temporary place, and then as soon as I let go over here, all I do is I say listbox2.items.add, and then the string that I had copied over there. I basically look up whatever the selected index was over here and copy it over. Does that make sense? But that, if I just left it there, I would have what? A copy.
Copy.
I would have wolf or cat or dog on both sides. So what do I have to do then?
You have to remove it from there, right?
I have to remove it from the other side. That's what gives you the illusion of a move. First I copy, then I delete, right? And that's all really even a move command did, was I'll make a copy and then I'll delete the original. But we'll call it a move. So let's look at that code. Pretty simple code, thankfully. Unpin. So we have these 2 list boxes called listbox1 and listbox2. And notice that the allow drop is set to true on both of them. This means either of them I could write events to allow things to be dropped into them. The target is what gets the allow drop, because I'm saying allowing something to be dropped on top of it. All right?
How about multiple? Can you do all of them at the same time? Can you like shift
You are crazy.
Shift, enter,
Let's
and
try and get through this.
drag them all?
Let's see. I know I could, but I haven't yet.
We have to
So-
special code for it?
Oh yeah, you have to code for all of it. You're the programmer. Okay, so on my mouse down.